If you go into the situation looking to flirt, or
you can make what you can form it into whatever
you can form it into whatever you want to. That's what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. Because I'm gonna use you as an example. So the social cue was, I just touch like this.
Yes,
that's all.
Hold on.
Oh.
We might be some libation. Might be some libation.
Lace, you making me feel some type of way, bro.
I'm saying, but then it was like, but I don't squeeze when I do it. I don't.
Lace,
so it's got to be a squeeze.
Lace,
I can't touch you, bro.
Lace, the way you touching me, I want your number. Can you give me your number? Give me your number.
So it's got to be a squeeze.
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex. The podcast where men can have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to Melody, the podcast where men can have a safe space. Welcome to Melody. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex.
It's only gonna get worse.
Oh, you mean worse as far as like intensifying, but in a good way?
In a good way.
Yes. Yeah, I understand.
I'm on that.
I'm 100% on being a grown man this year, man.
That's what's up.
I mean, I think I've been on my grown man, but now a part of the grown man is saying, "Hey, bro, be intentional. Make sure you plan it more."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because without intentionality, then you just aimlessly going about life.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything that you can necessarily like say that, hey, I'm setting out to accomplish this, and I'm actually going to take steps to doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of the fear. That's a part of the fear factor. I don't want to make plans because I don't want to set myself up for failure. Well, if you don't make a plan, you don't even know if you can do it or not. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. I usually am more anxious to not have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whereas other people are like, they don't want to make a plan. They just want to take it as a day come, go with the flow, as people say. I'm not a go with the flow type of.
Sure.
I ain't going with the flow. I need to know what's the plan, what's the purpose, what we doing, blah blah blah. Like, some people can just get in a car and take a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just need to take a ride somewhere or whatever. And I'm like, if I don't have a destination, I'm not about to just get in the car and just ride around.
Sure, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I that's interesting. I feel like I get way more anxious if I don't have a plan.
Are you one of them types that when y'all go on vacation, you got to know what you're doing at every moment?
No. Actually, when I'm on vacation, I want to be on vacation. Like, don't give me no itinerary for my vacation. If I'm on break, I want a break. Like, you could say, like, there are things that I want to do while on vacation. Like, if there's, like, of course, there's major things. Like, if there's a certain type of excursion that you want to do, a location you want to see at some point in time during the vacation, we can do that. But don't wake me up on vacation like 10, we doing this, 12:30, we over here, 1:30. No, I'm on vacation. I'm on break. So don't hit me with that. But if you got a couple that you want to do, yeah, we can do that.
But you don't have. But that's the thing, though. It's like, if you don't say at this time we're gonna do this, then there's no plan. Then I'm sure your anxiety comes out.
Nah,
I don't know if it can. I don't know if it's with all things in life that it's like that. Yes, you should plan. Yes, you should have vision, goals, whatever. But it's not applicable to everything in life. If you want to disconnect and go on vacation or whatever, that's what you're doing. Vacation, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can look into, okay, the excursions are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, we're going to do Wednesday. That's still a plan, but it's not like if I don't do this, then
I'm going to be waking
right,
up
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's levels, yeah.
Yeah. Wise man told me that if you're going on vacation for a number of days, do the things that exert a lot of energy up front.
Right, so you can
So
chill.
then the last few days, you actually relaxing.
That's smart.
And when he told me that, I was like, bro, that's the best advice I've ever heard as far as vacationing wise.
Word.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? You know what it is. It's your boy Melly Mel, a.k.a. Melly Badass, a.k.a. your favorite two-teller, a.k.a. if you don't want to know,
don't ask me. It's your boy T.Roy, your neighborhood hope dealer. If you need some hope, I got some you could borrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
What it do, though? It's your boy Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. I'm him, a.k.a. NBA old boy, a.k.a. the menace, no relation to Dennis. What we on?
What's going on, man? We in.
First, you got to pull out your chain, Dot. You wearing the chain?
Well, I ain't want to wear that shit.
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it.
I tucked it in because
I
I didn't want to deflect from Jesus. You feel me?
I'm just saying though, it could bring more light to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what we talking about?
So many people be like, man, y'all, you Jesus people, y'all are about money. It's like, no, it's not. That's not it. It's about Jesus. It's the church hurt and the pastor type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You seen pastor riding around town in the nicest Cadillac where your grandma is taking the bus to church and she's giving away all the money. You know what I'm saying? And so people get hurt by that, and it's like they just taking money from everybody.
Your grandma don't invest. That's why your grandma right
plus,
she don't invest.
But
Okay, does she tithe? I
Right.
don't know. Do she got to make? Do she save? Come on now.
But it's so many layers.
I'm just I don't.
But if grandma chooses to pay her tithes or whatever, that's grandma's relationship and understanding.
Right.
What they got to do with you? What they got to do with you?
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go to hell because grandma taking it, do you?
It's a lot of church hurt, bro.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a
but
lot.
I disagree with that. See? Though. The concept of church hurt is real.
Mm-hmm.
What people base church hurt upon generally is not
Foolishness.
church hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's foolishness.
Yes.
And they making a mockery of themselves.
Because they going for the wrong reason.
Now, granted, if it's something that happens because I mean, we've seen things in other, like the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Like that's real.
Yes.
But as far as like saying, I'm not going to church because the pastor's taking all the money. That's not how church operates. I mean, that's just not generally how it operates. Or because somebody said something wrong to me, like legit case in point, somebody that was on the praise team that I play for, on the praise team, coming to practice, all of that, this, that, and the third, went to a Bible study and somebody said something to them, just stop coming to church altogether.
See,
like, come on, man, stop it.
See?
That's a you thing. That's a you thing.
That is a you thing. That is.
But the concept I get, but what people be basing it upon is very wild to me.
That's why I be talking about buzzwords. People just be snatching buzzwords. So I think tuck their issue underneath it to get some grace.
Then just umbrella this church hurt.
Just umbrella the church hurt so that no one can say nothing to you about it.
Right. I feel you.
You just snatching words.
Now, I ain't going to hold you. We went to a service out in Winston for a month. When we were looking for a church, we did a church for a month. Because we just didn't want to. Because here's the thing. You don't want to judge a church best by one Sunday.
You can, though.
You can.
You can.
But it could be an off Sunday.
You can.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you can. I ain't never coming back here. You ain't got to worry about it.
So listen, we gave his church a month, and each service was during that month. It was about giving, and which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? We need to give, but I was internally I was like, bro, if I invite somebody to come to this church. And I'm like, hey, let's start going to this church. And all you are talking about is us giving every single Sunday. I don't feel comfortable inviting people to come here. So
was it a series? Was the pastor doing a series, or that's just how the?
I think it was a fiscal year was coming up.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
that's what I think it was.
Okay.
And when that happened, I didn't say to myself, I didn't look at my wife and say, hey, we're not going to church no more. What we do? Hey, we're going to go check out this other church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what people do, they throw the baby out with the bathwater just because it's dirty in one area. Then you think everybody's going to be like that. And then you just do away with it.
I have a question, and then we can move on from this subject if you want to.
Okay.
Have you found a church yet? Because I feel like
have
for the 3 years,
have you found a shelter from the storm?
For the 3 years that we've been doing this, I feel like he been fine.
Look
going for Winston ain't that big.
Mel, no. Well, from a church standpoint, we're in the Bible Belt. It's a church on every corner,
just like Lynchburg, bro.
But if you think about it, if they doing a month at each, that's 12 a year. That ain't that lot. Have you seen T-Dot's church list?
No.
It's about 34, 50 on there. So that is about 3 years.
I'm like, have you found one yet? Every time I talk to you, visit another. Have you found one?
That's about 36 months of church visiting, like legit.
He ain't lying. And you also ain't lying when you said you can go to one service and you understand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been a couple like
now,
that.
I went to one when first moved to NC. Went to one, and obviously, pastor doing this thing. I actually enjoyed the word. At the end of the service, he was like, "We about $200 short on the lights." So I know you got 7 musicians up here. You got a praise team. You got armor bearer, deacons, all this, that, and the third. Why you asking me to pay the lights when I know they on payroll? Yeah, nah. That was my last Sunday. That ain't how it goes down for me. So, but people also have to realize too, tithes and offerings are two different things.
Yeah.
We are. If you're a believer, we are required to pay tithes.
Yeah.
Offering is extra. So, if the church is handling its business appropriately, tithe should be enough to cover whatever. Now, if you living beyond the means of your operation,
sure,
then you need to have a board in place and y'all need to evaluate some things. But yeah, one Sunday was all I needed. I ain't paying extra money to keep the lights on in this mug. That ain't what it is for me.
Also, too, that pastor ended up on TikTok, didn't he?
TikTok
scandal.
To move probably. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? You on the TikTok, the lights ain't on, but you out here moving.
You moving. You moving.
Yeah, nah, bro. I'm good on that.
So
I'm good on that.
Actually, y'all it might surprise y'all by me saying this. I actually don't believe. Now listen, I give my tithe and I give my offering. But I don't necessarily believe that the tithe is what we have to give. I believe that it is a bar that is set, but it's not necessary to give 10%. And the reason why I say that is because one, the tithe was based upon when Abraham went to go get Lot, he was fighting in this war, and Melchizedek came to him, and Abraham gave him 10%, right? And so, because Abraham gave him 10%, and that's technically like an Old Testament type of requirement. Now, as we move into the New Testament, we see that Jesus is speaking with his disciples, and he looks at the woman who only has two mites, two. I forgot what it was, and he was like, "That's what I require." She gave her all. So I don't necessarily believe that the 10% is a requirement. I think it is a standard, but I don't think it's necessarily a requirement.
Of course, it's not a requirement.
Yeah,
but it's the standard.
It's the standard. I was about to say that it's not a requirement, but it is the standard.
And then I will also go to say this too, because my homeboy, very faithful to the Lord. And it was at one point where he couldn't give 10. Like giving 10 will put him in the red every month. And he went through a season where he couldn't give his 10%, but what he did give, he wanted to give, but he couldn't. So he gave what he could give. He gave his time. He gave, what we would call an offering. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, Lord, I'm not meeting the 10. And I think that in that season, he was still faithful.
For sure.
Yeah, he was faithful. That's
it.
Yeah, you can be faithful. Okay. People want gold stars for trying. He didn't give the 10, but he gave something. I equate this concept to Cain and Abel. God had a standard for what he wanted them to bring in sacrifice.
Melvin in his bag.
One of them brought with a standard that they were supposed to bring, one of them brought what they felt like they could give, and it was denied because he didn't provide the standard. I'm not saying that the 5% or 3%, whatever your man was able to give was given away. He didn't give he gave, but he didn't give the standard. So would I say that he was faithful? Absolutely not, because he wasn't necessarily faithful to the standard. He was, I guess, faithful to the action of giving his. That could be considered offering in a sense. He wasn't faithful to the standard. And for starters, God is not a stick-up artist. If you don't have the 10%, you don't have the 10% or whatever. Like if you're going through a period of season, if you don't have the 10%. And this is where, and we're not even supposed to be talking about this, but this is where a lot of radical faith Christians go to the left, to me. God also provides us a measure of wisdom. If your tithe is the same amount as your light bill, and you know that giving this tithe mean that you're not gonna have money for your light bill, God don't want you to do that. He wants you to pay your light bill.
Because they would say, give you a
Your
tithe and he'll provide
for the light bill.
Right.
And could he do that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is that
Pay
wise?
the light bill. It's not wise. Yes, right. Pay the light bill and handle the thing. But the standard is 10%. I would also go to the effect of saying that it's not necessarily an Old Testament principle, because there are some principles in the Old Testament that carry over
To the new.
into the New
I
Testament.
agree.
Tithe is one of those things, but I also remember that, and this is the encouragement that because I used to have not an issue with tithe, but I didn't want to give it because I had some of the same thoughts as other people who were like, well, why is my car raggedy and the pastor got a Benz? If I give him my money, he gonna have
When you
a
still
Benz or
driving
better experience,
around
and
in
I'm
a
still
raggedy
gonna be
car.
driving around in a raggedy car, even if I kept it.
Mhm.
So it was like I was more so, you know what I'm saying? Like legit.
That's true.
I was more so worried about what they were going to do with the money after I gave it, but that's not the concern of what they're going to do
Big
with
fact.
the money.
And that's the
the
piece.
concern with the money is that God specifically told me, first of all, to give a tenth because that's what He requires. But on top of that, He said, if you do the 10, I will be obligated to bless you in return. So not only will I give you what you gave to me, I'll have to give it to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
It's
According
a
to my
covenant.
riches and glory.
It's
Right.
a covenant.
You know what I'm saying? According to His riches and glory, not my riches and glory. So
Yeah.
people look at their riches and glory as like, if I give this 10, I'm not going to have it. It's not according to your riches and glory. It's according to His riches and glory. And I use it as a testimony because I remember a time when we was going through me and Sharita early in marriage, new marriage. I got a job. She got a job. At the time, I don't even know how we were surviving. I was making like $28,000 a year. Sharita was making like 20 something a year, and we were tithing or whatever it was. But every single month, when I sat down and wrote out the bills and the money that we had taken in, there was always more that went out than what came in. But somehow we always still had
Absolutely.
money in our bank
Provision,
account.
brother.
But I was paying tithe.
Yeah.
We were spending way more than but we always had money in our bank account. And I believe 100% that is because I put him to the test. He basically said, prove me. If you want, God can't lie.
Yeah.
He cannot lie. So if he tells me, if you give me this, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, then I know that I could give this away. I don't care what they do. I'm not giving it for you.
Right.
I'm giving it because I know that if I do it, God has to do
Yeah.
something for me.
But that's the thing. People don't believe that He has to because their heart posture in giving it is not appropriate. So as even talking about tithe, it's about your heart posture with it. It is not nothing about
Big facts.
what they do with it but that's the thing that we struggle with a lot of times, even when just come to blessing and helping people across the board. Well, what they go do with it. You know what I mean? Or if they don't use it in the way that I think they should, then no. It's about your heart posture in giving.
right.
Yeah,
And as he states, I got you.
I got you. And that's the reason why I had an issue with giving to less fortunate people, because I'm like, you just gonna buy
Crack. You go buy crack. You go buy
Homeboy,
crack.
I don't mind
Listen.
giving to less fortunate people. I just don't be passing out my dollars to people at the street corner.
So the other day, I'm at the street corner, and homeboy told me straight up. He was like, "Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I get a disability check because he only had one arm, and
I ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
he,
to the
he
story.
only had one arm, and he was telling me, listen, I get a disability check for only having one arm,
Mhm.
but I need money to get me to the end of the month sometimes, and sometimes I buy a little weed." And I was like, "There you go, bro. God bless you."
You gave him money because he was honest, or because he needed a little bit of weed?
Well, actually, I gave it to him before he told me that, because I could have been like, "Hey, bro, run that back." I could have been like that, but I didn't. Instead, I was like, "Hey, man, thank you for being honest, and I pray that this can be able to be a blessing to you." And I just kept it moving.
The moral of that story.
He was talking about heart posture.
Oh, okay.
So the heart posture
I'm
the heart posture at one time was, I was resentful of wanting to give, and it was like, you know what, I don't care what you're going to use
What
it
you
for.
gonna do?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a matter of, I want to be able to help in some type of way.
Yes,
And sometimes that's even a test for you.
that's
Big
true
facts. Big facts. So in the end, while I don't believe that the tithe is required, I do believe that it is a standard or a bar that we should strive to be.
Mm-hmm.
Be at. And I even desire to give more if I can, if I'm ever in a position.
I dig that.
I can tell you from experience, if you want to guarantee if you want to guarantee that you're gonna have all you need all the time when you need it, tithe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tell you, like, I guarantee you, because of not just because I've done it, but because he said it. Focus on the part where the fact that he says, I cannot lie.
Mm-hmm.
We're so used to treating God like one of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my favorite things that I'm going to pull a Troy because I don't remember the exact scripture number, but one of my favorite things I've always heard about God and reading in the scripture when I was growing up was God is not a man.
He cannot lie.
But not even that's the whole verse. God is not a man that he should lie. I don't even focus on the that he should lie part.
He's not a man.
God is not a man. I focus on that part. That has grabbed me from the time I was younger until now. God is not a man. So when I think about God and what God tells me, I know that he's not a man like you and me. He's not going to treat me how you would treat me. He's not going to see me how you would see me. He's not going to do me like that. So I can take hold of these words and I can grab them because he's not a man.
Right.
I'm not talking to a man. So when he says, prove me in this and I will do X, Y, Z, I'm like, bet.
Mm-hmm.
I turn into Jacob. You gonna have to. You gonna bless me.
Yeah.
I'm not. You
Yeah.
gonna bless me.
You gonna bless me. I'm
so
not gonna
you
let
can
go
keep
till
your
you
money.
bless
So
me.
you can keep your money. You can be fruitful. You could not have whatever. But if you want to guarantee that you're gonna have more than what you have right now, or put yourself, and it may not come back in money. I don't feel like my tithe always came back to me
Absolutely,
in money.
yeah.
It comes to me.
But
in
that's
other
also
ways.
a mindset that people have.
You know what I'm saying? It comes to me in so many other ways.
Because abundance can look different.
So I'm saying if you struggling with that, and I at times I've been struggling when I was making a little bit of money, and tithe was smaller, I was fine to give the tithe.
Sure.
But as my income increased, and them tithe checks started getting bigger, it was like, I don't know, that's a lot. I don't know, that's a lot of bread that I'm about to give away.
Really,
but it was like, but
dinero.
But when I had the little bit, I was giving it. That's what allowed me to get the whatchamacallit. So now how can I act funny now? So I did go through a season where I wasn't tithing, but it wasn't because I didn't have faith. It was because I was kind of always taught that you're only supposed to tithe to your home church. And we went through a season where we didn't have one. So I wasn't, and I definitely felt like I was blessed, but I definitely don't feel like I was as abundant as I could have been because we weren't doing it. But that joint, it is a fear that can be attached to it. About,
Absolutely.
Especially when you dealing with stuff. The other problem is a lot of us we live above our means anyway.
Sure.
So we can't even give the 10th, not because we don't have it, but because we living above
we got
our
everything
means.
else. We got a
places
sitting out front. You
that
paying
we shouldn't be driving
$800 a month for and all this, that, and the
why
third.
are you paying $800?
I'm saying people do it.
I know
Yeah,
they do.
people do it.
That's what I'm just saying. So it's like in those instances as well, it's like we don't necessarily, and that's why I don't try to count other people's pockets or look at what other people are doing. You don't know who's really making good financial decisions and who really got it like that, or who is up to their neck in debt because they're using credit cards to supplement their life or whatever it is. So I don't necessarily ever look at people and be jealous of what they have going on because I don't know what they're doing
to get it or to keep it,
or to keep it or to maintain it or whatever it is. And just because somebody got, some nice things on the outside don't necessarily mean everything's working well for them on the inside. So I just, you know what I'm saying? That we weren't even supposed to be talking about this.
No, but you did.
You be doing that.
He do. The inner man.
Well, he asked me a question and I just said what I said. You asked me about the chain and I just said, I just tucked it because I don't want to.
He be doing that.
He do.
But I will say, to answer your question that you asked me 20 minutes ago, which was, have we found a church? And we have found a place to be at right now. I don't necessarily know if it is our church, but we've been there for probably going on maybe 4 or 5 months. And I am one of the ways that you can tell that if this church is about to be the spot for you, if you start like getting into the resources that the church offers. And one of the things that I'm jumping into is the life groups. The one thing that I said probably about 50 episodes
that
ago
you despise.
That I despise.
I despise
life groups. But the reason why I'm getting into one is because one, I do have a gifting that that I need to be able to express. The scripture says, you're not giving that stuff just for you to keep to yourself. You feel me? So I want to be able to share that. And then two, I need to be consistently around men building in the scripture. And I need an additional place to be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? And to talk through things. You feel me? Because I've one thing that I've always said to myself, I don't want to be like them old heads that just start random conversations with people and just be talking cats' heads off. And what have I been doing lately? Meeting random people, starting random conversations and talking their head off in the grocery store, in the produce aisle, bro. Just straight up like, yep, that's a nice tomato right there. You know where they originated tomatoes? Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. We went to last day of classes. After class, I went out. Me and my classmates went out for like a celebration dinner, our first semester together, our cohort. And we were going around the table saying some nice things about each other. And one of my classmates, Vinny, he looks at me. He's like, Troy, we love you. I was like, that's what's up, man. He's like, but you talk too much. And when he told me that, I was like, there's an inner part of me that needs to talk more. And I need to be able to get it out somewhere because I'm doing it in places that it is not being productive. You know what I'm saying?
That was wild that they just told you that to your face.
I appreciate it.
That's something I would do.
Yeah.
But I was just surprised that they did it. Most people don't have that, like, be able to say that.
Well, see, I had kind of opened up the door because I had told them before. I was like, bro, I'm talking because I'm super nervous.
You see?
I'm trying to compensate for my my mindset of I shouldn't be here. So if I talk more, it makes it seem like I should be here. But in actuality, you just getting on people's nerves. So just shut up. And I had opened up the door previously, and then they was like, we want to confirm what you what you had said to us.
You didn't say that. See what I was talking about? How someone tell you a story and they don't give you all the details? You made it seem like he just came out of nowhere and told you that you talk too much. But you didn't say that you gave them an opportunity to give you some feedback about an experience that you shared about something that you be dealing with.
Yeah.
And they responded. You made it seem like you was running your mouth.
No. I had opened up that door long ago.
Before.
Yeah, long before.
And he just confirmed.
It months later after
his
he experienced
experience of you.
After he experienced it.
But nonetheless, so yeah. But yeah, the desire to get in life groups is to be able to exercise, to tire myself out of wanting to talk more. Because if I can talk over here a whole lot more, then I'll be good. When I come home from work, I don't be wanting to have no conversations, bro. Because I am worn out after talking to these students, talking to my coworkers, talking via email, even though I'm not verbally using where I'm typing and stuff like that. And so I'm worn out, but for some strange reason, when I get into these other areas, I'm over talking. So just like I did just now.
We let you get it out though.
Yeah.
What better place to talk than on the podcast?
Big facts. Big facts. So
I just want to talk about the range that exists on this podcast. Okay. People don't never know what they're going to get when they come into one of these episodes.
Never know.
It could be anything from ABC store runs to life groups and description, all that, career path and all. If you need anything in your life, okay, this is a well that we have.
And it never runs dry.
It never
and
runs.
There's always going to be something for you. So, you know what I'm saying? Just tell your friends, tell your people, invite them to join the group because there's a lot going on over here, man. We want y'all to be a part of it.
A lot of good.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not crazy no more. I mean, we could have.
Hey, you back.
We could have people in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Clear-minded.
Come on now.
So one of the conversations that we want to talk about is men and women relationship type of thing.
Sure.
How they flirt.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago at a function with the frat and some day party situation, we'll just call it that, day party situation or whatnot, and just observing and absorbing, you know what I'm saying?
Not participating.
Observing and absorbing, and just noticed how men and women move differently when it pertains to if one is flirting or not. So took it upon myself like, yo, you interested in such and such, yada yada. Nah, not interested at all. Well, from what I observed, he thought that because he asked me who is such and such? What is that about? Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like, just out of curiosity. Oh well, no. I'm just friendly. I just talk with my hands and stuff like that.
No, that's true.
Or whatnot. So it came to mind the differentiation in how men and women flirt and what could be considered as
Sure.
flirting or not. Because if a man is touching your arm or whatever in conversation, that could be considered flirting. But in this instance, it was reversed, where it's like, nah, I just touch people when I talk.
Mm-hmm.
But it was received as flirting. So just curious.
I could feel that.
I definitely feel that.
I would have taken the same thought from that. If I was a dude and I was conversing with someone and
Yeah.
she was laughing and leaning and
Right.
smacking my arm, I was like, hey,
What's up with I would have did the same thing. I was
Yeah.
saying, what's up with shit,
Right. Right.
So what's going?
I definitely would agree.
But I was told vehemently, no,
That
was
could be
not.
true. I'm just saying that could be
Which
true.
is, it can be true.
But all of the
the
signals,
social cues.
yeah, all
The
the
social
social
cues.
cues were saying,
Say something else.
ask me for my number or something like that. That's what definitely what is.
So in those situations, I gauge how that person also interacts with other people in the function. So if we in the function, you're not just talking to one person the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You move along in different crowds and stuff like that. So if I know this homegirl's interaction with me is this way, cool. And if I see her go do that with somebody else, it's like, all right, that's just who she is as a person. She's a bubbly, touchy person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going. I'm off that because I know for a fact you do not want to be in a situation where you misread something
For sure.
because then you make that step and it was like, hey, that ain't. It won't even like that at all. You know what I'm saying? And I actually got called out on that because I was the touchy, laughy type of person, you know what I'm saying? And people was like, Troy, you can't keep doing that because you got these girls walking around thinking that, you trying to holler, and that's not the case. I was like, well, that's just my personality. I laugh a lot. I like to make people laugh. Just because you think me telling you a joke is me trying to get into your drawers, that's not the same thing. What makes you equate that? And I'm gonna tell you what makes you equate that. Because people are looking for that. If you go into the situation looking to flirt, or
You can make you can form it into whatever
you can
like.
form it into whatever you want to.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. Because
But
I'm
there
gonna
are
use you
social
as an
cues.
example. So the social cue was, I just touch like this.
Yes.
That's all.
Hold on.
Oh,
We might be some libation. Might be some libation.
Lace, you making me feel some type of way, bro.
I'm saying, but then it was like, but I don't squeeze when I do it. I don't.
Lace.
So it's got to be a squeeze.
I
Lace.
can't touch you.
Lace, the way you touching me, I want your number. Can you give me your number? Give me your number.
So it's got to be a squeeze.
That's what. I'm trying to understand the difference.
So that's a new barrier to squeeze. I thought it was like any type of touch. I put my hand, if I smack you
I
or
put
something
my
like
hand
that.
up on
or
your
laugh.
hip.
I'm in there.
You feel it?
Now listen, the arm squeeze is one thing. If somebody puts their hand on your chest, now you crossing the line.
you mean like a laugh, like
Yeah. If they put their hand on your chest, they trying to feel for something. They trying to, bro. They feeling, and I've been felt up plenty of times. They feeling for something. They trying to see if the muscles match the personality. That's what they trying to do.
and when they find out it doesn't, then what happens?
Right. Okay.
What happens after?
We're learning. We're all learning here. We're all learning.
I definitely think that this is an issue because women suck at flirting. They don't flirt well.
Okay.
Women do not flirt well. I know
Okay.
that's not. I know they don't want to hear that, but they don't flirt well. Women flirt terribly, actually,
Okay.
and because of that, it does leave room for men to make erroneous assumptions.
Yeah.
that an arm touch is flirtatious.
Yeah, because bro asked me like, "What's?" I'm like,
there's no game. Like when guys flirt. Not to say that guys are perfect at flirting.
Yeah.
But when we're doing it.
sure.
Because of the tactics that we use, it's a slick comment. It's you know what I'm saying. That we're doing it.
Yeah.
We don't know when you're doing it because y'all flirt so bad that we can't tell what is you, what's a flirt, what's a sign, what's whatever. Back in the day when, of course I didn't live in this time, but I watched enough movies to know. Back in the day when women wanted to flirt,
they drop a handkerchief or something. They give some type of signal that lets you know.
He took us back
You know what
to
I'm saying?
the
I'm just
1600s.
saying, like, they do something. They drop a handkerchief on the ground and say you come over, they drop something. Even in the 80s, we used to see that they drop a pen, and see if you're gonna pick it up or something to create a window of opportunity. Sure. There is no handkerchief drop in this generation, nigga. What is the handkerchief? So people will say eye contact. If she give you eye contact, anybody can look around the room.
Right. She might be cockeyed.
Do it,
Might not be able to see. Like,
Stop
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
stop that. But I will say this.
Her lashes could be wearing her eyes
Right,
down or something. I don't know if she. I'm supposed to know that this is. I'm supposed to know you flirting because you move your eyes back and forth fast.
Yeah.
If we catch eyes more than 2 times, it's a wrap.
No, because I've seen that before,
Nah,
and
bruh,
the
that
feedback
don't mean-
is not necessarily flirting. It could be like, why you looking? What you looking at?
Why you got
What you looking at? Yeah, it's not necessarily that. Of course, if it's a long, intense, then I feel that. But it's not always that. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different and maybe it's because we men stay in the pocket on what's considered flirting.
Because if you get out of pocket,
you gonna be
in jail.
Yeah, and I don't think they have that pocket. So then we just trying to guess the signs, like what's up, what's going, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if they flirted better,
I think
we
too,
know.
it showcases as human beings how socially awkward we are because it's such a spectrum.
It really is. It really is. Now,
Like-
when I was pursuing my wife, my homeboy's wife, they weren't married at the time, but we were all in the same group. When she saw me pursuing my wife, she said, "Oh, that's what it looks like," because previously she thought I was flirting with women. It's like, no, that's just who Troy is. When she saw me actually pursuing my wife, she was like, I've never seen that side of Troy before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unique. It was something different because when I was trying, what? What?
Go ahead,
Troy
bro.
act like he was the Mac from way back. Yo, 'cause
I
it was
was,
unique. It was
unique.
different.
It was different.
It was different.
And I'm glad she told me that because I didn't even realize. I was like, oh, I am different towards her. I really do like her. It's not like a brother sister. Like one homegirl one time, the way that I always put people in the friend zone. You sister this. You just like the church saying. You know what I'm saying? Sister so and so. So one time, me and homegirl was talking. I was like, "What's up, sister so and so?" She's like, "Why you keep calling me sister?"
Yeah, they don't like that.
I was like, "Because you are my sister." She was like, "I don't like that."
I wasn't even there. I know that they don't like that. I wasn't even there.
She's like, "I don't like that." I was like, "Well, you are going to continue to be sister so and so, and that's just what it's going to be." Mac from way back.
Okay.
Yeah, women are terrible flirters. And it's because they never really have to. They grew up with us doing all the work.
That's why they don't know how to do it, bro. We've been doing all the work. I'm telling you, bro, they can't do it. That's why they suck at it. They never really had to. They never really had to talk their way into something.
Right.
We gotta figure out game. We gotta put ourselves together. I gotta have game. I gotta come correct. I gotta know how to make a laugh, but not too much. I gotta be forward, but not too forward. I gotta figure out, okay, where's my attractive barometer in this game? Where do I fall compared to what the rest of it? Yeah, you try to figure all that and work what you can work with. They ain't never really had to do that. They just get to sit back, wait for us to do all the work and pick among us. So then they don't really have I bet money. No, most of these women could not just walk up to someone and know how to talk their way into something.
We got to poll that. We should poll that.
Bruh.
I would agree though.
They don't know how. They don't know how.
I would agree.
And it's not because if they had to do it over time, they would. And that's the reason why they try to sit back and wait for us to do all the work, because it's easier to just reject than to be rejected. They don't want to have to go through the process that we had to go through to get to the stuff that we got to get to. So that's why I think that they're terrible flirters, because they just never really had to, you know what I'm saying, put it together. And then when they do, they all sound the same. They all sound the same.
What does it sound like? What does it sound like?
Okay, it's like a over sexualization of us. It's like the viewpoint that they have about us, like where people always think that men just lead with their meat or whatever it is. I'm gonna say meat to keep it PG because we be on TV. Meat or whatever it is, and so because they think that that's all that we care about and lead with, that's usually where their flirts come in.
Yeah,
the emojis, the meat emoji,
the eggplant
emojis, the meat emojis, or it'd be some salacious comment about sex or me or whatever it is, and then you sitting there looking crazy.
I
like,
just wanted to know. What
yeah,
you
I was
do
just
for a
trying to
living.
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no middle to it. So it's like either don't flirt at all, let you do all the work, or all the way over here to pull that out or whatever it is. It's like okay,
Interesting.
you
Yeah,
suck
yeah.
at this.
I was actually never a fan of the flirt. I was a fan of the chase.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to be pursued at
I
all.
dig that. Yeah.
Don't
I
pursue
feel
me
you.
at all.
My wife did when in our relationship, getting to know each other, she never flirted with me. It was just me pursuing and her running away, and I was like, "Ooh, you ain't getting away. I'm gonna track this down.
Okay.
I'm gonna track this down." But the ones that flirted with me, I'm like, "You coming off a little bit too desperate."
You coming up? Yo, the judgment was so
My boy
real.
turned into
yo.
Jalen Ramsey at that joint.
I'm just saying. It just seemed a little desperate. And so and with that is just like I want to be the one to pursue. I don't want to necessarily be pursued.
So I'm not gonna say I disagree. I don't want to be pursued, but I have always preferred women who know what they want. So
Absolutely.
If you at least give me the signal that I'm what you want and then let me do the rest, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But don't be chasing after me like I would do you.
Yeah.
I feel
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
feel
don't chase after any woman ever before I got married that ever treated me like that, 100% no.
Yeah.
Decline. And I think that, so we always talk about the friend zone, what you was talking about, putting people in the friend zone. When we get put in the friend zone, there's always a chance that I could climb my way out. If I handle it right, if I do enough time, if I wait my time or something like that, if I play the strategy right, I could climb my way out.
Yeah.
But once a dude puts a girl in the friend zone, she's there forever.
Yeah, ever.
Oh, yeah.
It's a graveyard.
Yeah.
You're not going to climb your way out the friend zone.
Forever.
So if you a woman listening to this, if you feel that you friend zoned it or he calling you sister or something, like, find somebody else. You have no chance with this. You're done.
Yeah.
what white people say?
You're done. You're
okay. You're not climbing out of that friend zone.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that it's because they don't know how to talk their way into nothing. If you knew how, you could climb out. You don't have the practice to be able to do it, and that's why it's a graveyard.
Very interesting concept. But yeah. So just wanted to get y'all's perspective.
Yeah,
we gotta
man.
poll the people.
They do flirt
We
differently.
gotta poll it. They absolutely.
But for me, it was the hard to get. It was one hard to get that I got, and then so now we're talking about I didn't want to be pursued when in the courting process or in the dating process. But now as a married man, I do want to be pursued.
I don't want to be pursued. I just want to be treated like a piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. I want to be treated like a piece of meat in my relationship.
I ain't gonna hold you.
That's what I want. I want to be treated like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Be your most perverse self when I walk past.
Right. I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if I walk past and there's no grab or touch or nothing, I'm gonna be offended. I might back up. Give you a second chance.
Right.
Because you need to be treating me like a piece of meat. That's how I want to be. You don't necessarily have to pursue me, but treat me like a piece of meat.
It's been several times my wife will walk by and I'm like, "Hey, did you not see this?" And
that's what I'm saying.
I poke it out. Smack that.
Crazy.
I know you're talking about your buns.
Yeah, smack my buns. I like to be treated like a piece of meat.
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
whatever works
Well,
for you. Whatever works for you.
So what kind of touching are you looking for? You looking for the swipe across
I
the
was
chest?
keeping it PG for the group.
Mel want a full blown.
For full blown.
Yeah, I want the premium package.
Premium package. I want the premium package. You gonna smack or grab something, but they ain't gonna be in the back. But yeah, I tell you that much.
I wholeheartedly agree with
Because
that.
I get offended. If I walk by and it ain't no action, I don't care about the words. Don't say nothing to me. Touch me. You gotta touch me. I don't care about the words. You gotta touch me. If I walk past, I ain't got no touch. I get offended. I back up. I know you didn't see the butcher just walk past here with all this meat.
The butcher.
The butcher just came through with all this meat, and you about to let it walk past. You better do something. Come on now, don't act like you didn't see me.
Oh my
Now hold
God.
on. Are you wanting the grab?
Yes, all of it. Touch me, grab me, all of it.
See, I don't like. things quickly moving towards my private parts. I don't like that.
Things. This ain't the things.
Well, I don't like hands, baseballs, dodgeballs, nothing moving quickly towards the area. So that's why I'm like, touch me.
You gotta put your whistle up sometime.
Touch me one place first, and then move to that area.
Man, y'all got rules and
I don't
regs.
got no rules.
It's
just a.
Because what if she reaches down? What if your wife reaches down and she accidentally grazed one of them?
Okay.
See, you thinking
Too much.
Let's quit touching me. I'm gonna take you out on a date.
You thinking too much about it, yo. Yeah. You thinking too much about it.
All right, I might have to say that. Just grab. Just grab.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Bro. Don't be afraid.
Hilarious.
Don't be afraid, bro. I stopped being afraid. I used to be like that. Sometimes in marriage, you don't necessarily know when you want to pursue. You still kind of get that little slight nervousness, that little slight pound in your chest, like that. She might say no, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Yeah.
And then if she do say no, then you get okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You get upset. But I'm just saying, like, nigga, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And rejection in marriage can set you back.
Yeah, for real.
It can really set you back, and it'll mess around. It'll play with your mind. So now you thinking that rejection is just like playing basketball. You step out on the court. You shoot your first jump shot. It looks ugly. I'm not shooting that no more for the rest of the day. I'm gonna do some other things. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I warm up a little bit. Take another shot. If it hit or whatever. If I miss, dang, another rejection. So after a while, I don't want to shoot no more.
Well, from playing basketball with you, you should not shoot ever. But it goes back to mindset. If you a shooter, shoot. Like that's just, and rejection really don't play a part in that, because at the end of the day, if I'm putting up 25 shots, I'm bound to land something. I'm bound to hit something.
I'm gonna land something.
So it's all in mindset. It's really all in mindset.
In the same concept of basketball, in that same lane. Throw me the alley-oop. I slam dunk it.
Right, but why do you need a oop though?
So you want to
see? I need a play that can create his own shot.
See, if we outside,
but
I need you. I can't be waiting for you to throw me a oop. I can't be waiting to pick and roll. Yeah, we can run a pick and roll. You gotta be able to ISO at some point, right?
But at some point, I need you to go get a bucket.
Yeah. That is true. Okay, that is true. That is true. But like you say, Lace, what's one of your
know your personnel.
Know your personnel.
You gotta know your personnel.
And if I know that my skill set is a high jumper, why am I out here at the perimeter?
And I wouldn't put you in that situation.
Yeah, you wouldn't. But when you get to your spot, you gotta do your.
I need you to do your work. I need you to do your work.
You can't be like, hey, you get to your spot and then you looking at me like calling for a screen.
I'm run this ISO.
I can't.
But I need you to get that board, and then we gonna set up this 2-man.
Come on now.
You feel me?
But you know what? I've also, as in this big age and this many years in to marriage, I've had to come to the point of, and I used to say this to my wife all the time, and I got to do this too. I used to say to her all the time, I can't read your mind, so I don't know what you need. I don't know how to serve you. You need to speak to me, and so I've got rejection or no rejection, I just got to say sometimes, listen, I need this.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I got to.
Ain't going to be romantic. I ain't got no rose petals or no music. Come on here and lay down. We got to get to it.
We got to get to it.
You ain't going to do it, but later anyway.
We got to get to it.
We ain't got nothing else to do. Come on now. Come on now. I need that.
Melvin Wiley, yo. 2025.
I need that.
Melvin Wiley,
Come on,
yo.
bro.
Come up out that.
Come on. Yeah, man, I'm just saying.
We got to make it happen. And so you just got to be vocal about it.
I dig it. But yeah, so thank y'all for indulging in the conversation. We're going to see what the comments say about the flirting. But yeah, found it interesting.
That is how did you come up younger when you are someone who feels like they need a oop first? And I'm going to tell you why I asked that. Like we talking about running the ice, so basically standing on two,
Sure.
talking your way into something. You
Sure.
basically saying, I could, I'm not really as good, but if someone threw me a oop, I could for sure slam dunk it. So did most of the opportunities you have come from oops? Someone throw you alley-oop?
Yeah, good question. So I would say pre-marriage, you had no choice but to take shots. And you also knew that rejection was a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And getting rejected pre-marriage is understood. Post-marriage, where my body is yours, your body is mine, and I can't get part of my body,
Come on now.
that rejection is a little bit more heavier. You know what I'm saying? Because you my person, I'm your person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever you ask of me of anything, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, but when you don't get that reciprocation, in moments, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but I'm just saying in the moments when you don't get that reciprocation, you're like, dang, this gonna be a hard night.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
This is gonna be hard.
Literally.
Literally.
He telling the truth, bro. You telling the truth. You telling the truth.
Because not only is it a hard night, but mentally you're like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard night.
It's a hard night.
Only reason I asked that is because so you cleaned it up for me, because I remember learning very quickly as a teenager that I gotta take my own shots.
Yeah,
Sure.
you got to.
Because when you
to.
go to your, and a lot of us done this before, my man want to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah.
My man over there wants to, and I learned my lesson so fast because I got embarrassed. I had my boy Ian when we was in high school. There was this girl that I liked that was in his class. I couldn't get close enough to her to really holler. And let's just be honest, I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go over there or whatever. But I saw him talking to her all the time. So I'm like, oh, y'all cool? He like, yeah, we cool, blah. I'm like, so, put me on or whatever. I'm like, put me on, blah, blah, blah. So we had a whole plan, how he was going to do it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. Today is the day. Put on my best fit for the day. I got on my best fit for the day, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So we meet up before the class. Period changing. I know this is a class. He about to see her. We hit in the hallway. He like, I got you. I'm going in. I'm like, bet. He like, look, just casually walk past. As you walk past, according to the plan, whatever we going, I'm gonna throw you to what you call it, whatever. So I casually walked past. 100%. He waited for me to walk past. As soon as I walked past, he go, that dead like you. He want to talk to me. I'm standing in the doorway like, bruh. Nah.
So why didn't you just bounce back from that?
There was no bounce back. It was so embarrassing because everyone else started laughing. He legit is like pointing like this at me.
He tried to clown.
She turned around, look at me. She started laughing because he laughing. Everybody laughing. I'm standing there like this. Everybody laughing at me. I said, you know what? It did something. It turned me into a monster.
Yeah.
Because after that, it turned me into a monster. Because after that, I was like, you know what? Cool. I know I got to shoot my own shots.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just. I wasn't just mad. It was like he intensely waited to clown.
Sure.
And I think that's why I was like, you know what? I just gotta take my own shot because you never know motives. You think they're putting you on or something like that.
Because
So
he
that's
might have liked this.
He might, you know what I'm saying? Now he's putting salt in the game or like that. So
He
I
just
was
didn't
like,
know how to put.
he knew how, and he knew it won't that.
Yeah, definitely won't.
Come
that.
on now, he
Definitely
knew it won't that.
But we
He
knew
knew that wasn't gonna be a high percentage shot.
And going back to what you were saying earlier, like how was you able to do that, previously versus now? It's like, listen, man, we was in high school. You put up 10 shots before first period started.
Shots was going up.
Shots was going
Shots
up.
was going
Not
up.
me. Early in high school, I wasn't that. So I tell you, like towards 11th, 12th grade, when I started turning into something, yeah, I was putting up shots. But early on, I wasn't really putting up shots.
I
like
never
that.
cared, yo. I never cared.
I hate talking to this.
Have a struggle.
I ain't never
never
what I'm
had
saying-
a drought.
No, what I'm saying
Never
is
had a.
I always had the fortitude if I'm gonna put it out there and we'll just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was ever a moment. It was like, dang, I'm scared.
Might be rejected. Or
Yeah,
something
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
nah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And the thing is, we all, and I'm sure y'all experienced it too. We all went through the same grade with the same people,
Sure.
generally on a regular basis. So you knew something of them. You know, so
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just, now when it came to like, going to other like house parties and other schools and stuff like that, that was time to shine. That was it. Because you got to think, playing sports, you out and about anyway, so you come across multiple people in different, like, you were able to make those connections or whatnot. So yeah, I never cared.
I think my issue was I wasn't playing in the field that I belonged in. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because I was trying to chase what I liked, where a lot of guys was chasing what liked them. So their percentage was higher. So they was able to put up 10 shots and something land because they already playing in this space of, I know this likes me, so I'm going to stay over here. And I'm like, wasn't really trying to find what liked me. I was trying to make what I like me back. So I think that's why I wasn't putting up as many shots. And I was like, put me on, whatever like that. Because I didn't. So that's why I was like, you know what? I just got to deal with it, learn how to be rejected, figure out how to talk my way into something, turn myself with that. But that's why I turned into a monster, because that thing was, like,
I dig it.
that situation. So
and I never, like, even in high school, until my, like, later in high school, like, my freshman year, I was dating a senior. So it was just like, yo, hey, you know what I mean? That's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what?
Well, first of all,
I want to leave space for us to be.
No, have I been rejected? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, I just didn't care. It didn't bother me.
Well,
rejection did bother me though.
You being a freshman dating a senior just will let you know you was molested.
I ain't say I was out there piping her out. God, dog.
Troy trying to make him a victim.
Right, golly. You know what I mean? Little pickup for school at the whip. You know what I mean? Like,
rejection hard,
business
though.
Decision. You know what I'm saying?
You was trying to get yours. You was just like, hey, here, let me borrow the whip.
Setting the tone, because now you know I'm mature enough to deal with someone 3 years older than me. Now I can play a little different. You know what I'm saying?
See?
Strategy.
It is strategy. I ain't mad at that.
It's always
sometimes you gotta use strategy.
It's always chess.
Sometimes,
it's always chess.
Sometimes you got to get a relationship to find your person.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes.
It be like that.
Yeah.
It be like that.
Sometimes they wait till you get in a relationship to tell you they like you. So then you got to get in a relationship.
People do that, bro.
I'm just saying. I don't care why they do it. But sometimes you got to know that's a possible strategy. Sometimes you got to pop out with something to see who really like you.
Just so you know.
To see who really like you.
I was dating a homegirl in high school, and a lot of people were shocked that, you know, the relationship happened or whatever. They was like, we didn't even think y'all knew each other. It was like, well, we didn't. That's why I'm in a relationship. I'm trying to get to know her. People was like, but I had liked you though. Why did you?
What was you waiting on?
What was you waiting on?
Can't flirt, can't talk their way into nothing.
And then mad
waiting on you to do all the work. And mad they missed the opportunity.
Mad you ain't know.
Come on now.
Yeah, I feel you. But that's just interesting. Very interesting concept. I just wanted to, again, bring that to you all's attention and get the response that I knew that I would.
Well, go ahead and sign us out then.
Well, it's been another episode, another rendition, another time of community with the Manly Deeds podcast. We out.
My boy.